I'm going to declare it now.
What? Here we go.
What? What month? We're in November.
Yeah, here we go.
November 2025.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to say right now, based on this draw, Penrith can't win the comp next year.
Welcome to the CODE NRL show. I'm Dave Riccio, and with me as always with Brent Reid, who's checking his clock. Because why? Well, the countdown's over, Reid man.
The draw's out, Dave.
The draw is out.
And it's like Christmas for rugby league fans across the country.
Yeah.
Because we've had little morsels, little drip feeds of games and grudge matches and all that sort of stuff. But we've got the whole kit and caboodle today.
We do.
Every club knows who they're playing, who got good draws, who got bad draws. And punters are, I imagine, have already got the calendar out, got the, what's that, Webjet or whatever?
I was going to
check
say
your flights.
Webjet, yeah.
They'd have booking.com or something.
Yep.
Are we sponsored
turnaround times, the turnaround days, 5-day turnaround, 6-day turnaround.
Should get us a sponsorship.
Webjet?
Booking.com.
Booking.com.
But anyway, they'll be out there doing all the juggling of calendars and functions.
I've got to say, Reedy, usually by now the phone's going nuts with coaches blowing up about, hey, they've stiffed us here, this is a bit ordinary, we've got to fly here, then we've got to go to there. The phone hasn't done that this time around.
No, you know what, Dave? It's the NRL probably deserves a rap, actually, because they've used AI this year.
Well, who deserves the rap?
Deserves a rap. Not Shane Richardson's eyes, of course, because he had a shot at AI yesterday.
Well, the
over
Tigers.
the
opening round
Port Island Tigers getting the bye again in the opening round, second time in 3 years. Bit of an oversight. But as a general rule today, there hasn't been a lot of complaining because it looks like the NRL's basically got the draw pretty good. It's pretty good. They've nailed it.
So let's rip right into it, right?
Yep.
And we'll just break it up easily. And it is the winners of the draw and the losers of the draw. And let's start with the losers. Reedy, can you believe we're about to say this about this team? We don't call them losers very often.
Penrith.
Tough
draw. Tough draw, Dave. They play a lot of the top 8 teams from this season twice. So it shows you the difficulty of their draw. And, obviously next year's not going to play out like this year. But as a general guide, if you take this year's top 8 teams as the elite teams of the comp, Penrith's got a hell of a run because they play, I think, 7 of those top 8 teams, or 6 because they were one of them, twice. So it's a challenging draw for them, Dave.
Don't worry about the draw.
Yeah.
Let's worry about the first month.
Ugly.
Right? Broncos, Sharks, Roosters, Parramatta, Storm, Bulldogs. Hello?
Wow. Well, it's funny, right? Because they had such a shocking start to the year this year. They were only last after what round? 12 rounds or something?
Yeah.
Went on this huge roll and made the finals and obviously got knocked out in the prelim. But, man, it's a really tough draw for them, Dave. And look, I'd never put a line through Penrith, but I've done it about 3 times in recent years and they've left me with egg in my face. So I'm not going to say it's too difficult for them. But I will say every year they lose a little bit of quality and the draws gets more difficult.
Yeah.
It's like these two worlds are colliding and I'm going to declare it now.
What? Here we go.
What month? We're in November.
Yeah, here we go.
November 2025.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to say right now, based on this draw, Penrith can't win the comp next year.
Oh, no.
Based on this draw.
You've done it again.
Mate, this is it. Mate, Ivan and Nathan, look, far be it for me to second guess the Clearys because Ivan's shown he's a genius. And Nathan, we all know that Nathan is the best player in the game, right? He's as good as it gets in rugby league. But there's only so much you can do when you are faced with a draw like this.
We're recording this and replaying it in May next year. The Reid man writes off.
It's tough.
The Panthers. It's a tough draw, granted, but they're class players, class club.
Quality. And
they know how to
Blaze Talanga will be better next year.
Yep.
They always have an ability to Casey McLean. We've seen he's a superstar.
Outstanding.
They find a way to get it done, Penrith. And Nathan, as I said, Nathan is a genius.
Yeah.
Right? But this is, it's tough.
You know what I bring in the factor as well is they're still not playing out of Panthers Stadium.
That's big.
And it's a CommBank.
Yeah.
And that with that list of draw, those opening weeks, if that was the case and a few of those were at Panthers Stadium, I'd be much more confident. But
so are you with me? Are you
saying
you're with
mate. Mate, the day I come with you, seriously. No way in the world. Tough draw, Penrith. Hey, Reed, man.
What do you got?
You do love merchandise.
Oh, man, I love it. I just love spending money, Dave.
So we're in Paris for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And we're on the Lime bikes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see a market stall selling soccer jerseys.
Yep.
You nearly took out 5 cars. You swerved that quickly towards the markets to get your hands on a jersey. I'll say this, Reed, man.
It was for my son, though.
This is cheaper than that jersey you bought in Paris. $49.
Yep.
Code subscription for 12 months.
You're right. That is cheaper than. Well, maybe not the jersey on the street of Paris. They're pretty cheap. It has fallen apart, that jersey too. So it was probably a bad investment. But Code Sports, that's not a bad investment,
well,
baby.
Code Sports
that's money well spent.
It doesn't fall apart either.
No, it's money well spent.
$49 for 12 months.
Oh, give me some of that.
Get amongst it. Click the link in the description. Next one.
Melbourne
Storm.
Again, play a lot of the top teams, which makes it really difficult. Play all the other top four sides twice. So they were obviously one of them, but play the other 3 twice. And they've got a lot of 6-day turnarounds as well, which is not a lot of 5-day turnarounds in the draw this year. That's one thing, the NRL's done really well. But
let me say quickly, it is the least amount of 5-day turnarounds in the 118-year history of
geez, you've done your research
of the game. So long as 118's right, that's the case.
Yeah.
Least amount of 5 days for every club. And however, to your point, the Storm are right on that precipice of 6 days. A lot of 6 days.
8 of them, yeah. And I mean, we all know they've gone through upheaval in the off season. And again, Melbourne find a way to get it done every year.
Yeah.
Like Craig Bellamy, arguably the greatest coach of the modern era. They've still got Jerome Hughes. They've still got Cam Munster. They've still got Harry Grant. They've lost Paps. They've got Suafalongo. They've still got Big Stefano.
Yep.
So they'll be there. But I'm a bit like, a lot of people call me Storm Man. So I would never put a line through the Melbourne Storm like we did with Penrith, right? But geez, it's going to be tough. Yeah, real tough for them.
Storm Man, what about well, let's go to some winners.
Yep.
You
Sharkies?
Yeah, Sharks have done well. They've done really well, Cronulla. To everything you've just said about Penrith and Melbourne, Cronulla only played top 4 sides from last season once, being the Broncos, being the Storm, and of course the Raiders as well. So look, they've done well in that regard, but the key one there for Cronulla is, as far as a flip side to all that is, from round 19 onwards, they do not have another bye or break in the season. So effectively, they have to go 14 weeks straight from round 19 out of Origin, 14 weeks straight to win the premiership. It's going to be a big ask for Cronulla, and really places even more importance on their start to the season, of which is it's pretty good as well, opening at home against the Titans. They get to play Penrith in round 2 at Bathurst, and I reckon that's a win because it's virtually a neutral ground for the Sharks taking on Penrith.
Can I ask you this about the Sharks, Dave? And you are Shark Man. Over the years, recent years, been a bit of criticism about maybe they've benefited from soft draws at times. Now we're talking about them having a soft draw again, right? Do you think that hurts them in the long run towards the end of the season? Because A, they haven't had the difficult draw that other teams have had, but B, people go, well, it's been a soft draw again for them. You know what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. In fact, I take no credence whatsoever to what you're saying because, what was the draw like of the premiership winners of 2018?
I don't know.
Exactly, you don't know. It means absolutely nothing when you are holding the trophy up at the end of the season. And for anyone that has a softer draw this year, do your best with that draw and go and win it. And that's the job of the Sharks. They have to go and win it with the draw that they've been given. At the end of the day, as I said, you win the comp, no one remembers it.
Before we go to a team that I think is a big winner, I touch on another team that I think has got an ugly draw.
I'll go for it.
And it's a team that needs, I believe, they're in a win. Well, they mightn't be in a window anymore. South. They have, they play 3 of the top 4 sides twice. First 2 weeks are on the road. And if you look at their draw, it's a really tough draw. They play the Dogs, the Storm, the Raiders twice.
Yeah.
And South's coming off a year of disappointment. They've had a lot of injuries. They're still looking for their nail down number 7.
Yep.
And I think that it's a really tough draw for Wayne Bennett and South Sydney. And, if Latrell suffers injury, Dave Fafita's gone there. I believe he's there already training, working his way back to full fitness. I think we graded a D, the Rabbits draw. So it's a tough one for them.
Yeah. I think the start, like with every team, clearly it's all about how you start the year. But for a team like South, needing to rebound, to your point, a tough draw through the middle period, they want to be starting fast.
Yeah.
The St George Illawarra Dragons, I think they've done really, really well. They've been rated an A as far as the Telegraph and Code Sports ratings are concerned. And it is put down to playing the top 4 teams and top 8 teams from last season, largely playing them once only this year. And the key one here, Reedman, is in the run home for St George Illawarra. They do not leave Sydney after round 19. So that's huge for Saints fans as well. You'll be able to get to every game, but you do not leave Sydney. So all your travel's done in the run home to the finals. It provides a much better preparation and training pattern when it matters most at the back end of the season. The Dragons have done well. They'll need to start well. Clearly, they play the Dogs in Las Vegas and then come home to the Melbourne Storm in Wollongong. Haven't played the Storm in Wollongong really since 2018.
Wow.
So it's a big opportunity for the Dragons. They got a good draw.
Can I give you another good draw? Manly.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable draw, Manly.
Yeah, well, they'll need it.
So they play in the first 12 rounds. They only play 4 teams from this year's top 8. And their opening month of the year, 3 games at home and a bye.
Wow.
So they could just explode out of the
strong.
blocks, Manly.
Yeah.
And they played 10 games all year from the sides that made the top 8 this year.
Wow.
They have an unbelievable draw, Manly.
You talk about soft draws, that's right up there.
That is right up there. So there's no excuses for Manly.
Yeah.
Kieran Foran's back on the coaching staff, back where he went straight back to training Keaon after finishing the Pac Champs. Obviously, they've got Tommy's extended his contract, so some of that uncertainty's been taken away from that playing squad. They're still looking to sort of massage it a bit. We expect Lachlan Croker to retire at some point. But you know what? They've got an outstanding draw, Manly. Yeah. And for a club that's got a new CEO coming in, Jason King, a lot of talk about Siebes and his future there. There's no excuses now. That is a draw that should guarantee they finish in the top 8.
There's 2 major factors for that draw, and it is Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah.
If Tom can launch out of the blocks with that draw, and then how quickly does Jamal Fogarty settle in with Luke Brooks? They're the 2 biggest factors for Manly to capitalise on what is arguably the best start to the season, first half to the 2026 season as far as the draw is concerned. And as I said, it all comes down to the fitness of Turbo absolutely launching and how quickly Fogarty gels.
We should touch on the Queensland sides too, Dave.
Sure.
Because the Broncos defending premiers 14 games at Suncorp, which is ridiculous.
All Friday night.
And obviously they get the 3 Origin, the 3 buys during Origin. So I mean they're in a pretty good position to go back to back the Broncos.
Yeah.
And look at the draw of the Dolphins and Gold Coast. Josh Hannay, he's got a dream run.
Yep.
And the Dolphins, who I think are going to be right there.
Yeah, they will.
The whips are cracking at the end of next year.
Yep.
Great draw as well.
Yep.
Would surprise me if we have, I was going to say 3 teams in the 8 from Queensland, but might be a bit early for the Titans. But based on the draw, and we all know Brisbane's quality, they'll be there.
Yeah.
And based on the draw, I think the Dolphins will be top 8, pushing for top 4 next year. I think I've now got 12 teams in the top 8, so I'm going good.
You're going well. Yeah. The West Tigers, Richo's not happy. They're starting with the bye.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. I mean, I think he's reasonably happy with their overall draw, but it was just a bit... And I understand, right? Because for the second time in 3 years, they've got the bye in round 1.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
How does that happen? Because players flog themselves all summer to get ready for game 1. You have that build-up. The fans build up to be ready for game 1. And the other thing, Dave, that's frustrating about it is, a lot of teams in Sydney, we spoke about Penrith, South, Canterbury, have all been forced. They can't play at home in the opening 3 weeks of the season because their grounds are out of action because of the Women's Asian Soccer Cup.
Yeah.
the Tigers have got 3 grounds.
I know, mate.
I mean, they could have hosted a home game.
Absolutely.
So I understand the Tigers' frustration.
Has AI dropped the ball there? I think it has.
Richo declared that AI need to have a good hard look at itself. Mind you, AI responded and said, "Don't look at me. I just work on the information I've given." Yeah. So, but they've got a reasonable draw. I think I've tipped them to make the 8 as well.
Yeah.
And nothing I saw in the draw would suggest to me the draw is going to act against them making the finals. So they got a pretty good draw as well. Yep. A lot of those teams who struggled, I noticed we gave the Knights like an A or something.
Yeah.
The Knights have got an unbelievably good draw. So a lot of the strugglers from this year, and I reckon you find this in American sport in particular, that where if you struggle one year, that the draw is favourable for you the next. It's a way of obviously bringing some parity about the comp. And I think the NRL, I assume they've done it deliberately, but the Knights have got a reasonable draw. So a lot of those teams who battled, and they won the spoon, remember?
Yep.
They've got better draw for next season. So there should be improvements. And we saw Dylan Brown at the Pac Champs.
Huge.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
How good was he?
Outstanding. Reedy, just the most concerning issue outside of the NRL season is the ongoing condition of Melbourne Storm and Tongan forward Eli Katoa. I can tell you that there's been an update, and it's a significant update from Storm CEO Justin Rodsky. Now, Justin spoke to the press in Melbourne on Friday and gave an update that suggested that Eli Katoa is expected, or at least anticipating, to be released from hospital within the next 24 to 48 hours of Friday from Auckland. And then the process begins of travelling back to Melbourne. Now, the key there is he's not home and hosed just yet. When he gets back to Melbourne, he then needs to go back into hospital. And that's the element of concern for the Melbourne Storm, that it's all about his recovery and ongoing medical needs once he actually does get back to Melbourne. Justin spoke about and was asked whether Eli would play again at all, and so too next season, both of which he said it's simply too early to tell, and it's not at the forefront of our minds. Only his recovery is at this point in time. Personally, and understanding the situation, I would find it highly unlikely that Eli Katoa runs out in round 1 next year, and is certainly his career is in question as far as playing on. But at the same time, you can only focus on what is important for him, and that is his health and recovery, getting him back to Australia and in Melbourne with the doctors that know him best around him.
Yeah, well, that's huge, isn't it, Dave? And that's good news, because obviously the reports earlier in the week that he had a bit of a setback, but to hear that he's close to checking out of hospital in New Zealand, getting on a plane, getting home and getting back to Melbourne, I mean, that's massive for Eli. It's massive for that footy club, because that footy club, as we've spoken about, it's had a really tumultuous off-season, and everything that's happened there pales in comparison to what's happened to Eli and the concerns around Eli's future and his health. So to hear that he's on the road to, he's making headway and could be back in Melbourne, great news.
Something you touched on a couple of weeks ago, Reedy, and Justin Rodsky was asked about, was whether the Melbourne Storm would reluctantly, or at least deny, their Storm players playing for Tonga in the future. Rodsky said that they would never consider that, understanding the power of the Pacific nations, the power of which these players want to represent their heritage, their family, and where they have been brought up. And that's an interesting take. And as much as much pain as this footy club is in, as much pain the Katoa family are in, it's an interesting take from the CEO to suggest that they won't be standing in their players' way.
Well, it's good to hear, Dave, because we all know the headway international footy's made, particularly in the Pacific. We've made some real strides in the last couple of years. And to think that clubs would prevent or ask their players not to play international footy would be a real setback for the game and for, it's a World Cup next year.
It is. And
it's in Australia. So we need Samoa and Tonga and England and New Zealand and PNG to be strong. So we've got a competitive tournament that gets, eyeballs on the game of rugby league. And, I'm glad to hear that Melbourne won't take that step.
Yep. And of course, everyone here at Code Sports wishes Eli Katoa the speediest of recoveries. It is past November 1, Reedy, so there is a little bit of, what do we say, haggling? Back and forth, negotiations going on.
Hey, Dave, before we touch on it.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I mention Jerome Luai? I want to give him a little rap.
Oof.
Because I spoke to him last week. I only put the story up yesterday. Jerome's not even going to bother going in. He's a November 1 guy. Can go to market if he wants to see what's out there. Not even bothering.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Says I've got no intention.
Great news for Tigers
No
fans.
intention of exploring the open market. Been a lot of talk about Jerome and Jareen Buller, what they might do. Jerome said, nah, no interest, committed to the club, shown that with my intentions. Not even going to explore his options.
Well, hopefully that it becomes a fait accompli and rubber stamped as soon as possible.
There were some meetings next week, I believe, so we'll see where it goes.
Hey, one name that he's doing the rounds feverishly is South Sydney forward Keon Koloamatangi.
Yeah.
Now, big Keon, what a power forward he is.
It's been great. It was great this year.
It's the Raiders, Parramatta and South Sydney. They're the three clubs that I've been tipped that are in the race for him. There was strong mail that Parramatta were like out in front.
Yeah.
In the last 48 hours. Look, the Eels have said, cool your Jets. We're giving Keon some space. He's been on tour. He's coming back. He'll take his time. And don't go too hard on saying that we're in the box seat. They don't. Yeah, they certainly think they're in the race, but not as probably dominant as what we thought.
Well, he's on huge money at the moment, David. He's on over $900,000 a year now. He'll get a pay rise because middle forwards, and I think he now acknowledges he's probably a middle forward rather than edge forward. If you look at the benchmarking the NRL does, middle forwards, the elite middle forwards, their average pay is about $950.
Yep.
Right. That's now this year. So that's only going to go up next year and then the year after when the salary cap changes. So he's $1 million player for me, and I reckon he'll get that in the open market. I don't think Canberra will go that high because they've got Joey Tarpanay who's on huge money, and you can't afford to carry $2 million props in your salary.
No.
Well, maybe in 2028 you can, but I don't think that's.
No, not with Ethan Strange and KO Weeks and.
So I reckon it's almost a Parramatta South Sydney shootout.
Wow.
And as you said, there's a lot of male para.
Yeah.
We're very close to getting something over the line. So look, South. I don't think South should blink at the cost of Keon because, as I said, he's on big money now. But
it may come down to the terms, Reedy. The length of.
Yeah. Well, there's been a talk about a 5-year deal.
Yeah. Look, Para have denied that.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how old's Keon? 27? I can't remember.
No.
Do you want to filibuster while I look it up?
Well,
is that the right word? Filibuster?
I've never heard of it. Did you say filibuster? I don't know, Philip.
He's 27.
He's 27.
So he's probably got 5 years at least left in him, Keon.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give him a 4 or 5 year deal. I feel pretty comfortable. And he's had a huge year this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably knowing November 1 was around the corner and wanting to play well to get his price up. I think he's got as I said, I think he's got his head round now that he's a middle. Yep. And I think that's huge because I think for a time he was obviously, we've known him really as an edge forward, but he got pushed in the middle. And I think maybe for a time he didn't exactly grasp that. Yep. But I think he has now. And he can see the dollar signs in the eyes because middles get a lot of money.
You do that all. You see that all the time.
A lot of money, mate. A lot of money. So, he's going to get well paid wherever he goes. It'll be really interesting. He'd be good for Para.
Yeah, he'd be outstanding.
Imagine him in Junior Paul because I think they're in talks about extending Junior Paulo as well.
Yeah, they are. So he's been terrific of late.
He's been great.
Look, another one. Titans fans, get excited. Jayden Campbell is staying at your footy club.
Staying?
He will stay.
You're declaring it?
I'm declaring it. Okay. And I think it'll be in the vicinity of a 5-year deal, which is a huge investment for a star player, but probably worthwhile.
He's a good player.
It was the Dragons and the Perth Bears that were doing their best to try and get Jayden Campbell, I understand.
Yep.
More so the Bears. But my mail is he stays, which would be a great get.
Well, that's a huge coup.
And you know what? A huge coup as the Titans then show Tino Fasuamala-Awi, hey, there's a future here. Because if Jayden stays, if he went, it's vastly different sell to Tino.
Where does, do they view Jayden Campbell as their long-term 6 or 7? What are we thinking?
I would think in the halves. I would.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a very good player. Yeah. Very good player. And he won't have come cheap. I mean, again.
No, he's upwards of $850, $900.
Yeah. Well, you've got to pay that now for a good half. So going to be in the halves, and it's, as you said, Dave, crucial that they keep him because we saw how Keanu Kinney played at the Pac Champs.
Yeah, terrific.
Mate, he's such a good player.
Yeah.
So if you've got Keanu Kinney, your fullback, Jayden Campbell at 6 or 7. They've got Lockie Elias up there now. AJ Brimson floating around. It's the makings of a class spine.